In H7 day 1, we're introducing the TCH after a short vowel sound. So let's highlight that short vowel in all these words. We've got at, it, Let's change our highlighter, and if we have a short word with a short vowel sound, we put TCH in these words, TCH, and that's the most common English rule for the ch after a short vowel sound. Now there are 5 words where we don't put the T in, and that's because they're from Old German. So many years ago, when the Germans invaded England and they settled there, they used these words, much, such, which, rich, sandwich. The English didn't have those words in their language, so they started to copy those words from the Germans, but they couldn't make that last sound as the Germans said. It's a very guttural sound. It's like mach, such. I can't make it very well either. So the English said when they see CH in a word, they change it to the ch sound. So they change the way they pronounce these words to much, such, which, rich, sandwich. So because that's the way they were already spelt by the Old German, in the Old German language, we still spell them that same way. We haven't changed it. Now, to know whether you put an H in which or not, remember that little trick you've already learnt? If you put your hand over your mouth while you say this which, there's no air after the W, so there's no H. Whereas if you say this which, there is air after the W, so you know to put the H in after that W. It's a very simple way to spell those 5,000 words that start with W or WH. It's a very good cheat. So normally the English rule is if we have a short vowel, we put TCH. If we have a long vowel sound, we put CH, such as in beach. And we have these 5 exceptions because we've pinched those words from another language, from Old German. Okay, so the thing to look at now is what these words mean. So batch means like a group or a pile of cookies. So you might cook a batch of cookies or a batch of scones. So it means a group of. Catch means when you catch a ball, or you might catch a cold, or you might catch a ladybird. It means to that you gain possession of it. Hatch, you know, is when a little chick hatches out of an egg, or a snake hatches out of its egg. It breaks out of the shell. Match, now this could mean a couple of things. It could mean where you have a cricket match or a cricket game, so it could be another word for game. It could be a match that you might strike to light a fire, to start a spark, to start a flame, to start a fire. And it could also mean, it has 3 meanings, where you join things up that are similar, where you match things together. A patch could be where if you've torn your clothes, you might sew a patch over it. Or you might have a vegetable patch in your garden. So it could be a verb where you actually do something, you mend something. You might have to mend your bike tyre, so you would patch it, which means you probably put a patch on it. It's a little piece of something to repair it. Pitch can mean to throw something, an object. It can also mean a cricket pitch, which is where you would play cricket. And it can also mean a very high pitch or a low pitch. When you're singing, you can go quite high, and that would be the pitch of the music or the song. Ditch could mean something like you can dig a ditch. It can also be a verb, and the ditch is like a hole in the ground or an indent in the ground. A ditch can also be a verb in that when you throw rubbish in the bin, you might say, oh, I'll ditch my rubbish in the bin. It means to throw as well. This which means the witch who may ride around a broomstick, and I always remember it because you can see the T can easily change into a broomstick. So that might help you remember which is which. Fetch means to get. So you might throw a ball and the dog might fetch it for you and bring it back to you. Mum might say to you, or could you go and fetch your lunchbox for me? It means to go and get your lunchbox and bring it back. A crutch could be crutches that you use if you hurt your legs to help you walk again. And it can also mean where the two legs of your pants join. So if you bent over and ripped your crutch, it means you'd have a hole in your pants where the two legs of your pants join together. So let's read the words, sound the words, spell the words and write them. We're going to cover them when we write them, so we have to use our brains to think about how to spell them. So, batch, b-atch, 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 B-A-T-C-H, B-A-T-C-H, B-A-T-C-H. Cover it and write it 3 times. Off you go, you can finish the rest of those. H7 day 2, we're revising the TCH after a short vowel sound. So we've got b-atch, batch, k-atch, catch, h-atch, hatch, m-atch, match, p-atch, patch, p-itch, pitch, d-itch, ditch, w-itch, which, f-etch, fetch, crutch, crutch. So here we've got the short vowel sound it, So after a short vowel we use TCH, after a long vowel sound we just use CH. So you know what these words are from yesterday. Let's quickly go over them. A batch is like a group of things. You can catch things, you can catch a ball, you can catch a cold. It means when you get something. Hatch is when you have a little chick hatch out of a shell. Match could be 3 different meanings. It could be like a game, a cricket match. It could be a match where you use a match to light a fire. And it could also be where you pair up things, so you've got similar things all together. A patch could be a verb or a noun. If it's a verb, it's something you can do. You could patch the tyre hole on your bike tyre, and you could use a patch to mend something, so it could be a noun as well. Pitch could mean to throw something, where you pitch a ball. It can also mean in music, some people might be able to sing at a very high pitch. Ditch could mean a hole in the ground, and it can also mean to throw something. You might ditch your rubbish into a bin. A witch is usually referred to as someone dressing up as a scary person. So you often see a lot of kids dress up as a witch for Halloween. And we use that they often wear a broomstick to remember that this witch is the one that has a broomstick in the middle of the word, witch. Fetch means to go and get something and to bring it back, like a dog might fetch a ball for you. A crutch could mean some sticks that help you to walk. A crutch is usually something that helps us, and in our trousers or pants, it's where the 2 legs of your pant leg join. That seam is called the crutch. Now, let's see if you can read the word, sound the word and spell the word. So we've got batch, b-atch, B-A-T-C-H. You can cover it and write it, and you can do the rest of them. Just remember, be careful with this which. When you say this which, there's no air after the W, so you know there's no H after it. But the other which, like which lolly would you like? If you say that which, there is air after the W, so there would be an H after the W. You can see it down here, which. Okay, so here you're going to then go on and look at the picture and see if you can find which of these words best fits that picture and write them in. write the list word to match the meaning. A group or set of baked goods would be a batch. So write the words in there. Now a homonym and a homophone are different things, and we've got examples of both of them in this set of words. So a homonym are words like ditch, pitch, catch and crutch, where they're spelt the same, but they can have different meanings. Like we just talked about, we said you can have a ditch, which is a hole in the ground, and you can actually throw or ditch your rubbish into a bin. So same word, same spelling, but different meaning. Pitch could mean like a cricket pitch, or some people can sing at a very high pitch, or it can mean to throw a ball. Catch, you might catch a fish, and you could catch a ball or whatever. You might talk about a good catch of fish, so you're talking about what you've done. A crutch could be something like this too, which means your crutches that you might walk with if you've broken your leg, and the other one was where your legs join. So the something of the siren hurt my ears. The pitch, it's a very high, might be a very high pitched sound. You can fill in the rest of those on your own. Now a homophone is where a word sounds the same, but we spell it differently and it means something different. And quite often they did that to show us that these words did mean something different, so we didn't get confused by their meaning when we're reading them. And also sometimes they did have different spelling because they came from different countries. So we know that this WHICH was from Old German. That's why it doesn't follow the English rule of having the T after the short vowel. And we know this word is Old English because we have the short vowel with the TCH at the end of it. And we do actually pronounce that and put differently too. So the something will write a broomstick. We've said before that this which is the one that has the broomstick, because you can see that T can change into a broomstick to make that easier for you to remember. H7 day 3, we're revising that ch comes after a short vowel sound. So let's highlight the TCH in these words as we read them. We've got batch, catch, hatch, match, patch, pitch, ditch, witch, fetch, crutch. Now before that last sound, we know that we've got a short vowel sound, and that's how we know to put TCH. So after a short vowel and we want that ch sound, we're going to put TCH. So highlight the short vowel for me in all of those words. It's going at, it, up. It's all short vowels. Okay, so today we're looking at, in this section, where because these words all end with a ch sound, which sort of has a bit of a s in it, we know we're adding es at the end to make them into a plural. So if you listen very carefully, you can hear the is, and you know that when you hear is at the end of a word, you're going to write es. And when you hear s at the end of a word, you know you're just going to write the s. So let's go. One which, a trio of which is. So you would be adding the is. And the easiest way to remember whether you add es or s is to listen. If you hear is, write es. If you hear s, just write the s. One crutch, a pair of crutches. A match, a box of matches. A batch of scones, many batches of scones. A ditch, lots of ditches. One catch, lots of catches. A patch, a box of patches. Now verb families, here you're going to be adding the es today. Normally it could be an s or an es, but we know because of the endings on these words, and we can hear the is at the end, we're writing es. Here you're adding the ing, and here you're adding the ed. So you'd have your base word of hatching is hatch, your base word of patched is patch, your base word of fetches is fetch. So they'd be your base words down there. Going across, if we're adding us to those, you'd have hatches, patches, fetches, pictures. So you know you're adding the ES. Here you're adding the ing. So you'd have hatching, patching, fetching, pitching. And here you're adding the ED. So you'd have hatched. Sounds like a T, so don't get tricked. Sounds like a T, but you know you must write the ED. Patched. Sounds like a T, write ED. Fetched. Don't get tricked, remember to write the ED even though you only hear a T. And pitched. You pitched the ball at me, you know it has to be ED on the end, not the T. So here we're adding to make these words into a noun. So someone who pitches is a pitcher. So you need the on the end, so we'll take the ES away and just put ER on the end. Someone who catches is a catcher. So you could just get rid of the S and change it to ER rather than ES on the end. Fill in the gap with a list word or extension. So it doesn't just have to be a list word. It could be one of these words where we've added to the base word. We've extended it. Our dog something a ball when we throw it. Our dog fetches a ball when we throw it. That sounds okay. We couldn't say our dog fetching a ball when we throw it. No, that doesn't make sense. Our dog fetches a ball when we throw it would be the correct word. You have to write in the base word with its correct ending for these other sentences too. H7 day 4, we're talking about synonyms and antonyms. So synonyms mean the same and antonyms, we're looking for a word that means the opposite. Now you may find this very early page in your book quite handy because most of the words are being taken from somewhere within that book, that list. So let's have a look. Now here it says synonyms mean the same. So we've got glad and happy, both ways of saying that we're feeling very happy. Antonyms mean we're looking for a word that means the opposite. So the opposite to hot would be cold. So write the synonym and link to the picture. So these are, we're looking for words that mean the same. So get, now remember looking at this page here because it might help you. We know on there is the word fetch. So we could write fetch in there. Okay, you can have a think about those ones and then link it to the picture if you can. So the dog has found his bone. Write the antonym to match the word. So the opposite of daughter is son. And you can finish the rest of those on your own.